Realty, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Catch us on Tuesday mornings from 8 to 9 on 105.3, 95.3, or online at florarockstars.com.
Hello, sunshine. Do you have land collecting dust? Is that big old house too much to keep up after? Have you outgrown that cute little starter home? Ready to stop paying someone else's mortgage and invest in a home of your own? I'm Adrienne Bost with Flora Mid-South Realty. Call me today at 931-293-9445 and let's chat about how I can help you with your real estate needs. Have a blessed day.
Let the gang at Flora Mid-South Realty help you out. Call 931-762-4247 or online at floramidSouthRealty.com.
Hey y'all, this is Big Fred. I like living in Lawrence County and I think you would too. So if you want to live in Lawrence County, you should contact Flora Mid-South Realty. They'll fix you up.
Let the gang at Flora Mid-South Realty help you out. Call 931-762-4247 or stop by their offices at 1288 First Avenue in Lawrenceburg or online at floramidSouthRealty.com.
Good morning. You are listening to Flora Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. This morning we got another good show. We have Quote of the Week. We have Listen to Everybody's Weekend. We will listen to Numbers Aren't Sexy, but They Tell a Story. Interest rates, that's a good story right now. And what is the business of real estate? We're going to chit-chat about real estate and just some of the workings, because I don't think people understand quite about how the real estate world works. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So how was everybody's weekend?
Really good.
Good.
Yeah, we went and spent the weekend at some friend's house, Friday night, Saturday night. Just doing me and her did a little bit of like Christmas craft kind of stuff. And Nathan just chilled and watched football.
And cooked.
He did cook. Oh, yeah, that's right. He made that.
Absolutely.
Lobster and shrimp, macaroni and cheese.
Which was...
Crab.
And crab.
Oh, yummy.
It was so good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then Teresa came over and stayed the night. We all played cards and...
Played euchre.
Yeah,
it's hard to find people who know how to play euchre down here. So.
Yeah, no, because that's not... I never learned how to play until y'all come along.
Mm-hmm.
And then, me and Mom won. Just saying.
I didn't know who won because I fell asleep. Y'all were all playing. So it's a 4-person game. And I was like, you know what? Y'all play and I'll just sit back. And then I was snoozing.
You were. There was little noises coming from over there on that cushion.
So our friend has this giant beanbag. I mean, it is like the size of a twin bed. It's huge. And it's
wider.
comfy.
It's wider than a twin bed.
Yeah, it is wider than a twin bed.
We can lay on it together just fine.
Yeah, I was snoozing. But, it was fun. All that.
It was a good weekend.
Oh,
And
we
then
did do the Christmas parade. Yeah, we went to the Christmas parade. Clarissa was she was like, it was the troop boys and the Boy Scouts, and then the band. Our Florida High School band was right behind them.
And then 5 minutes later, the rest of the parade showed up.
Yes.
There was a delay, I take it.
Yeah, they were sprinting apparently.
Yeah, they were going so fast. Not only were they going fast, but I guess the fire truck that was behind them stalled out or something, but nobody paid attention up front to slow down. But their marching was fast too. It was weird. They were just sprinting through it all. I was like, guys, calm down. It was literally, no exaggeration, probably 5 minutes.
Yes.
Really?
She texted me. That's how fast they were going. She texted me and said, "We're headed to the school." We're still watching the parade.
The parade's still going on.
I didn't make it. I watched a little bit online. The Weather Channel had it online with Ben Luna. And so I watched it with him, and he was narrating. And I just watched a little bit here and there. And then I think I went to sleep. Not feeling real hot, but we're okay. We're going to be okay. So
There you go.
All right, Nathan. Wait a minute. What'd you do this weekend, little one? We have a special guest in our office today.
Yesterday, after school we went to the doctor's office because my big brother got strep, and we went there because Mom thought I had strep, and I have strep now.
You have strep now.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. So you don't feel good?
Not really.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I told her when I picked her up last night, I was like, "Hey, let's go be sick together."
Yeah, because Nathan, the big kid over here, is sick as well. So
He's been sick now off and on for the past month.
Yes, COVID, then whatever,
Stomach virus. Yeah. I told him when we first got together, I said, just be prepared. You're going to be sick a whole lot this first year. And I was right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I never got this sick ever in my whole life. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'd never get sick.
I was like, you've never been around kids either. Like
the kids in school. Yeah. Everybody gets sick. Oh, pass it around.
I know, right?
They bring home everything. And so then,
So it's all their fault, but we love them.
Well, not really their fault. I mean, other kids bring it.
Well, it's kids in general. Kids' fault in general.
But that's a good way to build your immunity.
That's true. That's true. What'd you say on the way home last night about if you're a good parent or a bad parent? The good parents won't send their kids to school, but
The good parents won't send their kids to school, but the bad parents will.
Well, a lot of times the parents don't know they're sick.
Well, or don't have a choice. So
that is true. We were talking about that. It's like, what do parents do who both parents work, or single parents, and you have no one to watch your kids?
And you don't have an understanding company that you work for.
Right.
If you have to be on that job and no exceptions, or you get fired or whatever, it makes it rough on a single parent or a two working adult households.
I think that's why I'm so grateful for the job that we have.
Yes.
Because we can work from home if we need to. We can be wherever we can be wherever. I have been at the beach before working, and job just goes with us. If kids are at home sick.
Right. And if they are, you can always, and if something came up that you absolutely had to go do, show a high-end client a property or something. You just put them in the car, wrap them up, and let them sit in the car. And
Absolutely.
Off you go. So,
I've done that many times.
yes.
Or if you have a good family relationship in the real estate company,
Yes.
another agent can help you out too.
Yeah, I have called before and been like, can you please go show this for me? Because something bad came up or something. But it's very, very, very rare.
But that is one great quality about our job.
I do. I love that part about it.
So, all right, Nathan, you want to kick us off?
sure. The quote of the week is going to be, always give without remembering and always receive without forgetting. Brian Tracy.
What do you think that means?
Stay humble.
Yeah.
And if you give from your heart, not by scoring points. Don't
Correct.
like add up, oh, I did this, this, and this, and expect anything or whatever. So that's
I think it's okay to let people know what you do, but don't do it in a way where you're bragging,
Right,
or
right.
expect something in return.
Yeah, like
never
expecting,
give.
like, praise for doing that. I would, whenever I do the things that I do, I don't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I don't want to think that I'm doing it for praise or think I'm doing it for whatever else reason. I would rather people not know that I did a good deed or something. But who is Brian Tracy? This is like our third or fourth.
Brian Tracy is a quote.
He's a quote.
He's a quote. No, Brian Tracy is a real estate coach.
Okay.
And look him up. He's got some good things. He's kind of like probably hit his prime in the late 90s. And he's not much around now, but he is a real estate coach. And he had a lot of great insight in the real estate business and still does. But he's just not, he's kind of probably getting older and
Time to step
back.
out. I get that. Because this is a job that is, we have lots of ups and downs, and it's stressful. So, I think because like the transactions I had before what we have going on right now literally about burned me out to the point that I needed to be off, and then we ended up sick. And I was like, I've got to take a few days off, and then we were sick, so I had to take them off anyway. But it was
it was really difficult sometimes. Those three together, tied together, just about did me
Those
in.
are those ones that are back to back to back, and they all depend on each other.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect, and if one falls through, the whole thing falls through, and everybody really needed each other. And so we're doing everything we can as real estate agents, as lenders, as title companies. Everybody has their part they have to do, including the buyers and the sellers.
Right.
We all work as a team, the whole entire thing. So, but now this, we've got a couple right now that are VA couples, so they're veterans, and they have been a breath of fresh air to finally been like, this is why I do what we do. I don't care. We drove 4.5 hours to meet them for a little bitty house, but it is their very first house. They retired. It's just crazy to me. They retired this summer, and they are buying their first house. So they're in their 60s buying their first home. He
Are
told
they
me,
career military?
must be, I'm thinking. They have, he told me the other day, they have been saving up to buy a house for the last 15 years.
Wow.
So they are
Wow.
making sure every penny is very, very meticulously used. And they're just absolutely wonderful. Anything I ask them to do, they do. Anything the lender asks to do. And it's great. I love it. They're so sweet. First time they met me when we left, they hugged me.
Aw.
That's what I love to do about this job. That
Yes.
makes it worth everything.
Yes, it does. Well, Nathan, take us to a commercial.
Season's greetings. It's Nathan from Cavan's Home Team.
And Holly wishing your family warmth and joy this Christmas.
Wrap up the perfect gift, a new home for the holidays.
Flora South Realty has your keys to your festive dream house. Join us creating memories that last a lifetime.
Cavan's Home Team and Flora Mid-South Realty, where holiday dreams find a home.
Merry Christmas!
Why would you buy or sell a home without a realtor? Would you go whitewater rafting without a life jacket? Let me protect you with all things real estate. Hi, I'm Teresa Flora with Flora Mid-South Realty, and you can reach me at 931-271-5790. Let's see how we can work together. Catch us on Tuesday mornings from 8 to 9 on 105.3, 95.3, or online at FloraRockstars.com. Flora Rockstar Power Hour, brought to you by Flora Mid-South Realty, rocking the real estate news and all things local. And we are back. Welcome to Rockin' the Real Estate News and all things local. You are listening to Flora Mid-South Realty. And we are going to talk numbers. Numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. And Pat, you know what? I didn't hear about your weekend, and I just realized. I'm just now realizing. So before we go to Numbers Aren't Sexy, we're going to hear about your weekend. What'd you do?
I worked.
I know, unfortunately.
Yeah, I went down and I put some signs in the yard. I went to take some pictures of rental property. And then Sunday I went and done a video of a rental property and did laundry.
Oh,
yeah.
I had to do that too.
So, yeah. Very boring. I am a boring person.
You got sleep in, though. That was a good thing.
Yeah, I slept in till 10:30 on Sunday.
Wow.
Woohoo.
And that is very unusual with a homer.
Oh, well, I heard that on the radio this morning. I heard your little secret that you use earplugs.
Earplugs.
I have tried the earplug thing, but I still hear him through the earplug.
You can hear him, but it's kind of muted. And I have these eye masks, too. It's completely dark. So.
Maybe I need to try eye mask, too, but I don't sleep very much. I think I'm in this age in my life where I sleep very little.
I never hit that age. I was a sleeper as a kid, as a baby, as a kid. I've just always been a sleeper. I can go to sleep at 10 o'clock and wake up at 10:30 the next morning. I mean, I've just always, but now that I'm older, I get up 5 times to pee through the night. So
Maybe that makes up for it.
That's what I do. I toss and turn. If I sleep on my side, my hip starts hurting, so I have to go on my back, and then my back starts hurting, and I have to turn on the other side, and my hip starts hurting.
Yeah, I do. I'm like a rotisserie chicken, too. I roll all night long.
Yeah, it's just constantly, whenever the pain gets bad, it wakes you up, and you got to turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, thank you, because I didn't mean to leave you out.
But like I said, it was very boring.
Well, Yeah, but you get to tell your stories. All right, so now numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. And we are running pretty consistent for the last year. These are numbers from November 26th to December 3rd. Currently, we have 120 listings with an average list price of $426,118. We have no coming soon. We have under contract showing, which means that the seller may permit showings and additional backup offers, with 6 of those listings with an average list price of, get this, and this is right, $198,500. Not real sure how we got those numbers that low. Under contract not showing, there's 4 of those with an average list price of $328,700. We had 1 expired and 2 canceled. For the week, we had 7 closings with an average of $236,844. The number I tell everybody to pay attention to is list price to sell price percentage. Sellers are getting 99.26% of list price, which that is up. We've been running in the low 3s. So that's up a few points, and which is a good thing for sellers. From the time I put the sign in the yard till we go under contract, took about 65 days. From the time I went under contract till we went to close and we had the keys, took an additional 43 days. So all in all, it's taken 108 days from the time I put the sign in the yard until we go to close. This time last year, we had 10 closings with an average sale price of $251,790. So you can see the 2 prices are pretty close. We have right now a current inventory of 5 months, which we have 3.70 months of inventory, which equals out to almost 5 months. So if nothing else comes on the market, we will be out of something to sell in about 5 months. The big story today is interest rates. Interest rates right now, if you were waiting for them to lower, they've lowered. You need to, if you're sitting on the fence, you got a property you have your eye on, and you are wanting to pull the trigger, I'm telling you to pull the trigger, because interest rates right now, I think, are as low as they're going to get till the end of the year. And 30-year fixed, which that's a conventional loan, those are a little bit more expensive. The interest rate 7.11. But for a 30-year FHA, it's a 6.5, so 6.5%. A 30-year VA is 6.5%. And a 30-year USDA is 6.62%. So we're in the mid-6s, and I think that's where we're going to probably stay at. And don't forget, you can still buy down points. So if you're starting at a lower interest rate, you can always put more money down and lower those rates even lower. And so that's a good story. And those are your sexy numbers for the week.
I got a question for you on that one. You know, you're talking about the under contract showing. Is land included in this?
No, these are all residential real estate.
Residential real estate. So we must
in
have
Lawrence
some really
County
low ones, which, you know, for the most part, the majority of the buyers we've been working with are very like in the, you know, like 150,000 is their max, even pushing it to 180,000. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Maybe. We have a lot of clients who are in the very lows, in the like the higher hundreds. Interesting.
Yep. Yeah, it is. So
to go from like, you know, over 260,000 to that. That's interesting.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Last week when we reported, we were from the list price to contract, or list to close was a total of 147 days. Then this week was 108 days. Where is that 30 days coming from?
It could be the home inspectors are running late and booked up. The appraisers are running late and booked up.
Now, is that an average of all the closings? Yes. Okay.
So it could be, too, that people need to sell their house before they can buy that house. And it just delays it. I mean, think about that one.
Of course. I mean, and then, or if there's one particular property that's been on the market for a while, it probably will skew the numbers a little bit.
Well, if you look at that list to close number, I mean, it was up the week before. I mean, it was 93 days before you got a contract.
Right.
A list of contracts, sorry.
What's the contract? Yeah, so it's sat on the market for
Yeah.
a while.
Well,
Yeah.
because interest rates are affect a whole lot, and that this is 93 days ago from last week. We're probably in the 8s there 90
Right.
something days ago,
Right.
And then as we kept going, interest rates just kept dropping. Mm-hmm. I think that in another month or two, in a few months, we'll see a difference again in that.
And that's where we don't know where it's going to go. Remember, we're going to go right into an election year. And even though real estate is not predictable anymore because it's just so everywhere,
It may not be predictable, but it's still steady.
it is still steady, correct.
But not as predictable.
Right. In previous years, on election years, real estate has been really slow. People are holding on to their monies. People aren't making big decisions and going to let it ride to see what happens. So I don't know what will happen this year. If interest rates keep going down, then people need to buy.
Yeah. Right before the election year.
Right.
Before that's true. I can see that.
Well, and it depends on how the election goes, too. I mean, if we're still status quo of what's going on right now.
Oh, God, help us know.
Yeah, but it could get even worse, so.
I don't think people really, some people really pay attention to like the interest rates and stuff like that. But when you have a life decision to make, it really just doesn't matter a whole lot.
No, it doesn't. If you have a move because your company moved, your job moved, you divorced, a death, a marriage, twins,
Exactly.
Those things are going to cause you to probably have to make a decision to do something.
And that's where real estate will never change because there will always be life changes.
Yes.
I mean, and I was also, we're talking about interest rates on the conventional, and I know it's higher, but the thing is your house payment may not be much different on that one versus the FHA because you do have a primary mortgage insurance.
The PMI insurance. Payment.
On the FHA and the VA and the USDA. Those all have primary mortgage insurance. So if you're thinking, well, I can't do a conventional loan, I don't want to do a conventional loan because it's so much higher. Conventional loan's a little bit more flexible on what if a house needs work, you buy a little bit of a fixer-upper, that is probably where you really need to fall in at.
Right.
There are some conventional loans that pay 100%. I mean, you don't have to do a down payment.
But don't they still have the insurance on them, though?
Yeah, they do. And there is a 5% conventional, or there was.
There used to be a 1% down.
Yeah, but that one's gone.
Is it gone?
Yeah, that one's gone. I'm not sure about the 5%, but interest rate plays a big part, but shouldn't be your deciding factor.
No.
And what should be your deciding factor is your life situation and your personal budget. And that's what should make your decisions because interest rates are flexible and you can always deal with those.
Right. And as interest rates drop, you refinance. And, we all try to keep up with interest rates. And even our past clients, we try to keep up with their interest rates along with we have some lenders that we work with that also do that. And so once they hit below a certain amount, you'll be getting a phone call from us saying, hey, let's look at possibly, what it looks like if you need to refinance and drop in your payment. So, but I wouldn't do that unless it drops how much? Like a point?
At least a point.
At least a point.
Sometimes a point and a half
That's what I
before
was
it's
thinking.
beneficial. Because you will have closing costs and that kind of stuff. And so it's just, you have to make sure. But that's where we come into play. That's where the lenders that we work with, they're going to let you know. Yes, I think it is a smart, or no, kind of hold off and let's wait. That's our job, part of our job anyway.
I know, one of the lenders that we work really closely with, whenever she has somebody, she doesn't go right around and pull that trigger on the interest rate. She pays attention. She watches. She studies the market daily. And so she knows she's going to be like, okay, well, should we go ahead and pull the trigger and go ahead and lock in the rate? Because your rate's not locked in immediately.
Right.
And so
not until you go under contract, I believe.
Well, they don't lock it in immediately, no.
We're locking in a week or two before closing.
Yeah, where she waits until the very last minute sometimes to lock in. just to see if those interest rates are going to come down or go up. But now she'll pay attention, and if rates keep going up, she calls them and says, hey, look, interest rates keep going up every single day for the last week. We probably need to think about, and it looks like it's going to continue to go up. Let's go ahead and lock in. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it's really important to work really closely with a good lender.
Yeah.
But that's also, but on your note about going under contract too, if you're using the big box company for your mortgage, Rocket Mortgage, Lending, like the Lending One or whatever, they probably do lock you in as soon as you go under contract.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, because that goes through a whole bunch of hands.
exactly. I mean, you got offices throughout the country that it touches, so it can go to 3 or 4 different states before it's finalized.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of unless you work with a local mortgage lender or broker. That's the beauty of it, is when you're working with a mortgage broker rather than the big box stores.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They work. I mean, they work too. So don't be afraid to call them and talk to them. Just know that you're.
I like the personal service.
I was gonna say you're a number to them. Mm-hmm. You don't have the heart into it as much.
And the personal relationship that you have from, our local lenders here, our local banks and stuff, some of them are just our community banks, and you can walk in and talk to your lender. Our lenders that we use typically mortgage lenders, and they've got big hearts, and they're people that you can meet with and touch and talk to, and it just makes a world of difference.
Ask before you touch.
Well, you know what I meant.
Shake hands. You can shake hands.
Shake hands. Give them a hug if you're not sick. Yeah,
well,
so.
There is a big difference too between banks and mortgage brokers to me.
There is.
I mean, so mortgage brokers, it does cost sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes to work with them, their fees are a little bit more, but they shop around for what works best for your situation. Banks are a little bit more tied down to what the bank offers.
Right.
So when you're looking at that, go talk to your bank. I always encourage them. Go talk to your bank. Talk to a mortgage broker. See who can offer you what the best that suits your needs and your family the best.
Interview everybody. Don't just take it for granted.
And that's true, because the interest rates can be different with 3 different lenders. It's not standard across the board.
Correct. And even some companies, they'll offer to pay for your appraisal.
Yes.
And, and people don't realize, there's a lot of upfront, out-of-pocket expense. That was what the one client that we're working with right now.
We'll touch base with that today, too, I think. Talk about the real estate business.
Just
so you're aware of, upfront costs.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me. He's like, I didn't realize there was so much upfront cost. So it's, you're talking about appraisals anywhere from $500 to $800. Probably closer to 600, probably roughly, and then you've got a home inspection that's usually around $500, and that's just for the basic home inspection. Right. That doesn't add your septic on top of it. If you want radon testing, you want lead-based paint testing.
Tasting.
Let's see some lead-based. Right. Let's see what happens.
And then your
termite inspection. I mean, that alone, termite inspection can be anywhere from, I was going to say anywhere from 75 to 150 we've seen.
Yeah.
And it just depends on the size of the house. And then if there's something wrong and you have to have that fixed and treated. And then, let's see, what else are we forgetting? There's all kinds of
They also
stuff.
look for them, wood borings, whatever.
Beetles,
yeah.
Powder beetles. I know about that at the moment. Yeah. I've learned a little bit this week. What was the other one I just thought of that they have another expense? Oh, if you're buying a mobile home, a structural engineering certificate, that's $500. Mm-hmm. So, and that's just for a mobile home. So just be prepared if you're looking to buy. Save up money before we get there. We can probably get you your closing costs covered. We can negotiate closing costs covered where you don't have a down payment. Sometimes you can have there's different stuff out there for that.
And it breaks my heart.
Different programs for that.
And it breaks my heart, too, when you get clients who are at kind of the lower spectrum of buying a house. I mean, they're all excited and giddy about that. And they find a mortgage that they're able to get because they're doing 100% financing, or there's not a lot of out-of-money expenses at that point. Out-of-pocket, thank you, expenses at that point early on. And they're all excited, but then you hit them with the earnest money. And then you hit them with the inspections, and then they choose not to do inspections because they just don't have the money. And you're trying to stress to them how important this inspection is, but they just don't have it.
Right.
And it's just heartbreaking.
A lot of them depend on the appraisal to see what's wrong.
I think that's where, and I've had people before where they will skip the home inspection and just do the appraisal inspection, and we have to explain to them, look, there's a difference. The appraiser is not looking for things
structural, it's value.
Yeah, they're looking at value, and is this safe? I mean, with certain things, they are looking at the safety of it.
And they're doing it for the bank's best interest, not
yours.
Your client's best interest.
Right.
So, all right, let's continue.
That's a really good question, though. Why if the buyer of the property is paying for that appraisal, why are they in the bank's interest? Because the bank's not hiring them. It's the clients that are hiring them. So shouldn't they be in the client's favor?
You would think so.
Why isn't that standard?
Because that's just the bank. The bank tells who to go. Well, they put them in a pool, but they do it for the bank's interest, whether it's a good investment for that bank. Because you got to remember, the bank will take it back and have to resell it.
The industry needs a rethink on who needs to pay for that.
There's a lot of things the industry
Well,
needs
think
to
about
do.
think about this. Let's talk about PMI there. So you've got primary mortgage insurance. Well, who do you think that benefits? You
bank.
pay
Well,
for to
course.
benefit the bank in case you default.
Which
and
we're
they
going to
have
talk. Let's talk a little bit about what that is after our commercial. We're going to
sorry.
cut to a commercial, and then we'll talk about PMI insurance. Thrilling subjects.
Hey y'all, this is Shelby Lee Lowe, and I'm here to tell y'all about my friends at Flora Mid-South Realty. Teresa and her gang are the perfect group to help you out with all of your real estate needs. So call Teresa at Flora Mid-South Realty.
Let the gang at Flora Mid-South Realty help you out. Call 931-762-4247 or online at floramidSouthRealty.com.
Where there's country.
Hi, this is Sandra Fritchie with Flora Mid-South Realty. As the winter season settles in, it's the perfect time to turn your real estate dreams into reality. Let me guide you through the journey of finding your cozy haven. With my expertise and unwavering commitment, I'll ensure a seamless and hassle-free experience, just like the warmth of a crackling fireplace. I'm Sandra Fritchie. Call me at 931-236-2815 for all your real estate needs.
Let the gang at Flora Mid-South Realty help you out. Call 931-762-4247 or online at floramidSouthRealty.com.
And we're back. Welcome to Flora Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Good morning. And I just want to make sure that whatever that was, it goes away.
Squawk.
All right. Somebody's squawking. I can still hear squawking. Yeah. That might have been why it wasn't turned on.
That's odd.
Anyway, when we left, we were talking about PMI. Private mortgage insurance. Private mortgage insurance is an insurance program. It started back in, 10, I believe, when the market all crashed and banks took a huge hit. A lot of them went under, and the mortgage industry changed a lot since then. And so private mortgage insurance is an insurance policy that, from what I understand, the bank, when you get certain types of loans, then the bank will take out this insurance policy that if you default on that loan, then that insurance policy kicks in. How it works step by step, I don't know, but all I know is that the buyer pays for this private mortgage insurance, and it benefits them in no way. It's nothing for them whatsoever, but it could be an extra $120 a month or more or less, and it is just the safeguard for that lending institution.
Well, so I know you will always have a PMI with FHA, VA, and USDA. You will always have it the entire mortgage. However, with a conventional loan, if you can only put down, say, 5%, once you reach that you've paid down 20% of that loan, you can have that PMI dropped off. It's supposed to automatically at 80%, but I think you can request it a little before that.
18%.
A little before that, you can call them and have that taken off of there. So that's another benefit. So whenever you're looking at, I know the interest rate's a little bit higher on conventional loan. Just remember, you can always buy rates down, but you don't have that private mortgage insurance.
Right.
You're paying for the bank.
Right.
So, I understand, I guess, when they were trying to fix everything and, after
So are
the
they
crash.
double dipping when they foreclose, or is that why foreclosures are like you can get them at a good price because the bank's already satisfied because of the PMI?
No. PMI's insurance. They probably have to pay. And I mean, you're getting in the weeds here because this is not something I know a lot about. But from what I think is, it's an insurance policy. Like I pay my car insurance.
That's what I'm saying, though. So once you default on your loan, the insurance kicks in.
I don't know how much they get. I don't know what, I don't know. We need to get a lender in here to talk about it. But I just know that it is for the lending institution's benefit.
Correct.
And
we pay for it.
Collect that monies. Yes, the borrower does pay for it. But there's programs out there, that's just one thing you need to be aware of. The monies up front is what you need to be aware of also. You will need, like Holly was saying, you should do a home inspection. You should do a pest inspection. You just never know. And they're the experts. Like, we're the experts of real estate. We help you with contracts. We help you with finding homes. We help you in many, many ways. But when it comes to a home inspection or a structural engineer report, that's not our cup of tea. That's not our expertise. Pest control. There's no way I'm crawling under somebody's house and checking for bugs.
I will.
But you can't.
Well, I'm not legally. I'll poke my head underneath and just see if there's anything I can see.
I will if there's no cobwebs.
And I can give my opinion, but it's strictly an opinion. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, and it shouldn't be a deciding factor.
Of course not.
And so it's just there's a lot to buying a home. I printed out, and this is just an estimate of what we do in real estate. And I have a list of 237 possible actions or step or procedures that a real estate agent will do.
You made me type that list up.
I know I did. That helped you learn the business.
Mm-hmm.
And then I couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on my computer somewhere. But anyway, it research steps, procedures, and processes that a real estate agent will do working with a buyer or a seller. And it's amazing. People don't realize, a lot of just general public doesn't realize how we get paid.
Correct.
I think we open a door.
Yeah.
Right. And just talk.
No, go ahead.
And so what we need to make sure that we're doing is educating our public. There's a lot of things going on in the real estate world right now on different subjects, and we're going into nothing that we're doing different except for we are communicating more. We are opening up and explaining things better. And we want people to understand where their money's going and who's paying the commission and how much the commission is and how much your closing costs are. And, there's just so many things. But going back to the
commission's all up in the air a little bit too right now.
Right. But let's just take, for instance, pay. We have a real estate paid commission. We have a real estate company. And within this real estate company, there's 10 of us that sell real estate. Well, that means that, a real estate agent is an independent contractor. They are a business within themselves. That business, by law, has to connect to a bigger business like a brokerage. So then that brokerage takes the liability, responsibility, and the legal ramifications from that agent. So there's a little bit of risk involved. There's a little bit of training involved. There's a little, that brokerage will do a lot for their agents, or should do a lot for their agents. And so the real estate company will get paid. So out of a commission check, then there's bits and pieces that come out of that. When you go to closing and you see that real estate agent get a check for $1,000, that $1,000 gets split in many different ways. So you've got to understand that that's not what that agent's making. So that check for $1,000 goes to the brokerage. Then there's an agreement between the brokerage and the agent on what that split's going to be. How much does that agent agree to pay that brokerage for training, for tools, for an office, for internet presence, experience, leads. Ask if they have a question.
WDXE?
No. Oh, yeah.
We're a talk show. That's all right.
I thought maybe that was a question. All right. So I thought maybe somebody had a question. If you do have a question, please don't hesitate to call. We'd be glad to talk to you on air and talk to you about your question.
762-4789.
So if you have, I'm sure they heard that quick.
Well, you got, when you're in your little role,
I know.
You got to get in there quick.
I know.
Because if we stop you, your train just stops.
It does. It derails.
All right. So if you want to call in, it's 762-4789.
If you got a question about real estate, how it works, a definition, if you're looking to sell, you want to figure out how to do that. If you're looking to buy, any kind of questions that you may have, we are open for them. Just call. If you call in to complain, call me after hours. We're not going to put it on the show. All right. So
depends on what you complain about. It might be interesting. Just saying.
Okay. Well, Nathan will take that call. So anyway, so we'll go back to what we're doing. So the check comes in, the brokerage then, for all their services that they provide that agent, takes a portion of that money's out. Then that's split. And then that agent then has to take out their taxes, because you got to remember, we're an independent contractor. Independent contractors have nothing taken out of their checks. No Social Security, no taxes, no insurance. Nothing is taken out. So they have to do all of that stuff to satisfy our governments and then what's left, they also have a business that they're running. They have dues and fees. They have marketing that they pay for. They have, what else? I mean,
photographers. We have videographers. We pay for advertisement,
And all of that's up front before we even make a penny. We pay for advertising. We pay for professional pictures most of the time. We pay for extra advertising, boost it. When we get a listing, we boost it on YouTube. We boost it on Facebook, everybody. So, and all of this costs monies. And so that $1,000, once it gets to the agent as a paycheck or a profit, is very little monies, because there's so much monies that we have to put in running a business. So, excuse me. So I hope that understands. I heard one time that a friend of mine, he decided to sell his property and called one of my other agents in my office. Well, I didn't mind, but I asked him why. And he said, don't you all just pool your money together and you get a weekly paycheck? Wow. No.
Well, that'd be nice.
No. Yes, it would be nice.
Well, I don't know. Would it?
No.
No,
because some people don't pull their weight.
Well, that
like right now, I am not putting enough time into real estate right now. So, would I be entitled to an equal share of that?
No,
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. So, anyway, that's how we get paid. So, there's a lot of things that go into consideration when that title company or that attorney writes that check. And the other thing you got to remember too is there's always two sides to a transaction. There's a buy side and a sell side. So that seller, when you're looking at that commission being $2,000,
that $10,000 on commission automatically gets split in half.
Correct.
Right then and there.
If there's two different brokerages, one representing the buyer and one representing the seller, then correct that. Of course, it's according to the contract. According to that listing contract, how that money is divided. Typically, or, the way it's been in the past is that a percentage goes to the buyer's agent and a percentage goes to the seller's agent. And then, that just cut that initial check sometimes right in half. So you've got to take, when you think about real estate, you've got to think about commission in a different way. Of course, the commission is always negotiable. And we'll talk about that. We can talk about commission, and we can talk.
But don't be afraid of the commission either, because what you're paying in commission, you're going to save on other ways. Because if you're going to go out there in the world and do a for sale by owner, or you take that transaction on yourself, there's going to be things that you're not aware of that you can negotiate with. There's going to be things that, let's say, another agent might be involved with, and they're going to put on you certain things that's not on you to do. So what you're saving in commission, or what you're paying out in commission, is just legally you're going to be covered. As far as paperwork and all that goes, and then negotiations, and then
safety. So, that you got people running in and out of your house, viewing your property.
And you have no clue who they are. Before
we ask questions and we talk to them, and we're just not going to bring somebody we just met off the street right into your house, and a lot of times the safety factor, if you are a single person and you've got people in your house and you're showing it, or you have an open house and, you've got things, precious memorabilia around your house, and then it comes up missing because you've got 5 people and you can't control all 5 people showing or looking at your property because you're having an open house all by yourself. Those are the types of things that we do and we're trained to do. And, in marketing, I just don't think the average person, and I don't mean that ugly, but knows exactly what it entails, all the marketing that we do.
Yep. And it is a proven fact that majority of the time you will make more money selling with a real estate agent in your pocket than without one.
Right. And that's a key point. You'll make more money in your pocket, not make more money and it goes to commission. You make more money and put it in your pocket, because we have heard stories where sellers will pay for things, like Nathan said, that they don't need to pay for, but they didn't know any better, and they don't have an expert beside them.
And you don't think that another agent or the other side of the transaction has an agent. You don't think they're going to look out for their clients?
Correct.
They're in their favor. They're not in your favor. So listening to them 100% is a bad thing.
Right. Right. So you just need to think about what you're doing and talk about what you're doing with a real estate agent. And so the other part of what a real estate agent does is, if you just take the listing side, then there's pictures, there's measurements, there is what else we got? Putting signs up, putting lock boxes up, scheduling. Maybe you decided that you want to schedule for a home inspection ahead of time, which is a very smart thing to do, because that way you take you take away that
fingers crossed era.
Right.
You're waiting on that inspection to come through. You're under contract, and then you get that inspection. If you get that done beforehand, before you even have a buyer in line, that will just alleviate some of the questions that can come down the road.
Plus, you can say, look, Mr. Buyer, I've already had a home inspection.
And give them the report.
And you can offer the report to them. And then that buyer can talk to that home inspector. And, and I don't think a seller would do that mischievously. I think a seller's going to do that straight up and honest. And so will that home inspector. When you talk to that home inspector about that report for this house, they're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it gives the seller an opportunity to cure some of those uglies before a buyer even gets in the picture. And so you can advertise it that way. So we were talking about, first-time home buyers or buyers that don't have all that upfront monies. That's a great selling tool sellers can do, is offer that pre-home inspection.
I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
So you've got those things that can be done. And so we're talking about sellers. What else is there to do with sellers? That what we do for listings, we promote it, we put it on the MLS, we
professional pictures and video.
Yeah, did those. There's just a lot to reviews and talking about business and how we could do better and just
and answering all the phone calls that come in and questions about the property.
And showings.
That's one of the main parts of our jobs, is to answer the phone, just to have, because there's going to be questions about it,
Communication.
Yes, absolutely. So then if you flip this over to, and then you talk about inspections, then you're going to know, us as an agent's going to know, how to do a water test.
Yep.
How to do a radon test. Those kind of things that we've done before and or know who to do and who to call. And
I think that's really good as far as a real estate agent. You kind of have these little bag of people who can do certain things. I think that's another thing too that's really helpful when you work with a real estate agent is some real estate agents know people who know people who know people.
Right.
And we're going to make sure that you get in contact with somebody who can fix a leaky pipe, a breaker, where we've had some of that stuff where it's come through with electrical stuff, and we need somebody who can go out there and fix those kinds of things. So, there's a lot of painters. If you have chippy-pilly paint, just so you know, if you have chippy-pilly paint, you probably need to take care of that.
And that means chippy-pilly paint. And when you put your house on the market, walk around your windows, walk around your wood trim.
Window seals and wood trim around your windows is a big one that people just overlook for whatever reason.
And they're porch posts.
It just takes a couple layers of paint. That's it.
Even a dog house. In your backyard, if you have a dog house that's a wood frame and has chippy-pilly paint on it, they're going to ding it. If you have a shed in your backyard and it's got chippy-pilly paint, you either need to take that shed down or paint it, because the appraiser will flag it. No matter what loan, they'll flag it. And so, chippy-pilly paint, and that goes back to, back in the day about lead-based paint and the chippy-pilly paint. They feel it is a safety hazard. I've not heard of too many people eating chips of paint, but
they're pretty good.
Are they pretty good?
Little ranch.
Little French onion dip.
I think the reason why is because having little ones and stuff like that, when they're little and toddlers, they're really kids are teething, and if it's a window sill, they're gnawing on it. I've literally have a nephew who would chew on the window sill in his bedroom.
It's called cribbing.
Put him in the crib.
That's what horses do, is cribbing.
Really?
When they chew on that wood. Yeah.
I did not know that. See, I didn't have horses. I had kids, lots of them, but he would chew on the windowsill, and I think that's probably, it's well, you're the reason why, you're the kid,
let's
the reason
think
why for
about
lead-based
this
paint.
minute. Lead-based paint stopped when?
In 1979.
Where are we now?
Oh, I know. I just
so many
said that.
years ago that was lead-based paint. So, it's.
I think if the house is built after 1979, I don't think that they should be flagging for chippy-pilly paint anymore.
I know, but they will.
I know, especially garages, or sheds.
Under layers of current paint.
That's exactly. That's the whole thing. Just because
it was built after.
I said built after 1979.
You don't know when the paint was manufactured.
Well, if you're using paint from before that, we do.
Some people hoard it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
Homer would, I'm sure.
Hey, that lead-based paint is good paint. That covers anything.
I figured it'd be dried up, not able to use it.
I know, me too.
Well, we got about a minute.
All right, so Pat, you wrote down some. We've got talk about our Christmas ham giveaway. Talk about that. We got coming up.
We're going to be giving it away December the 19th. So look on our Facebook, and we'll have a post up there, and all you have to do is like it and comment
I guess, and share and invite people. And we give away a Christmas ham every year.
Tell us what you're going to do for Thanksgiving.
For Thanksgiving.
For Christmas, and, where you're going to go, things like that.
What else you got real quick?
Okay, tonight is the play at Crockett Theater. It's Christmas again, y'all. That starts at 6:30.
I heard that was going to be good.
Yeah, and on the 12th, the 8th day of December, Photos with Santa at Capstar Bank from 3 to 5 p.m. The Kelly's Christmas Concert at 7 p.m. at Faith Church. That's on the 8th. On the 9th is the Davy Crockett State Park Candlelight Museum Tour. It's at 4 p.m., but you have to register, and it's $5. And then on the 10th is Acora Christmas on the Square, and that's at 1 p.m. And on the 12th is Lunch and Learn, Grow Your Business with a YouTube channel person. That's at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m.
That's at the Chamber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we have coming up. Don't forget the Christmas ham. That'll be out on our Facebook page today. So sign up, and we will do the drawing right here on our radio station on the 19th of December. So anybody got anything out? How do we get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah. We are Cabin's Home Team. You can reach us at 931-345-2406.
You can call Pat Bradley at 931-345-2736 or call the office at 931-762-4247.
Or you can stop by and see us at 1288 First Avenue, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, right behind McDonald's and Burger King and the radio station. Reach me on my cell at 931-271-5790. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.